Today we're all going to talk about malls, but before we do that, I'd like to take us back to a time in history where I remember we only had like one mall, which was the Ampang Park. You know, we've come so far from that. So I'd like to just ask the panels to comment about the evolution of malls in Malaysia. Maybe I'll address that to Swan Ai.
Pretty much the malls have actually evolved over time, and I think the form and the function have also evolved. Just at Pavilion, I received a very interesting proposal just yesterday. Somebody wants to propose to the girlfriend at our Christmas Center Court. I say, for sure, just go about doing it. So you can see that we have actually evolved from those days where shopping malls were just pretty much a place you go to get what you need. And now it's all about, you know, we are trying to create a lot of desire for you to buy, to invest. And I think some of you have really seen the whole evolution of change here. It has become right now a marketplace of ideas. All right, it's a place where pretty much you engage yourselves in different kind of experiences. So actually, you know, in short, these days, shopping centers, we're building experiences and connections with the consumers. So the format has really changed over time, and I can see really the new shopping centers are formatting themselves, even not just destination places like in city center, but also suburban places. So you can see the multi-story formats have also changed. People really do understand, is it just about sort of like a dumbbell concept to a neighborhood malls? I think people are really trying to understand how to engage the consumers and the market they serve. So you really can find we're building more of experiences than just pretty much a place for buying a product.
Brilliant. I love the idea of, it's now a marketplace of ideas. So if we're in the business of ideas, how has that influenced the way you've developed your mall, Charles?
Jaya One today isn't a mall. It's essentially a mixed development commercial precinct. If you look at the ratio of offices we have to retail, we definitely have far much more offices. Having said that, mixed development like ours are evolving to mall simply because my shareholders said so. They wanted to build a mall, and they pretty much left it to me and figured out what we're going to do. So I agree with Swan Ai. It's about building experiences. We had to figure out what is going to be the next step? How do we then differentiate ourselves from an experiential point of view? We started to embark on the idea of looking at education as a means to pull together a collective bunch of learning tenants that would form the anchor, giving a kind of different experience. But I totally agree with her. It's difficult to engage these days, so we really have to stretch our minds to do that.
So you're now looking at, to differentiate yourself, you're designing a mall that talks to mothers with children who are into education?
Yes,
yep.
Essentially.
Okay, brilliant. Now, Ben, when you were designing these new concept restaurants, what were some of the considerations and the landscape that you had to negotiate in?
I think a lot of what we look for with developers and potential sites is the thought process of the developers. What was their original idea? It's no longer just we build a building, fill it up with shops, and people will come. I think that's kind of a little bit for us is developing that relationship with the landlord to understand what are they trying to sell, what experience are they trying to put across, and then working with them to see how we can best work together to execute that idea. I think the fundamentals are always the same in everything that we look for. Good car park system. I think everybody knows that. Easily accessible toilets, like you mentioned. I think the sad part is we take it for granted that it should be in every other development, but as we can see, a lot of new ones and old ones, it's always the most neglected because it's not a revenue churner. It doesn't generate income. So it's taken for granted and it's never addressed, but these are the basic fundamentals that's always overlooked and neglected, and it causes frustration, which I guess in a way irritate customers, and they don't come back no matter what platform you're selling that experience for. And then on top of that, work with the landlords to see what is it that they're trying to put across so that we can work together and develop concepts that's suitable for the location, the type of building that they're constructing, and then of course ultimately the audience they want to try and attract.